Welcome to the new RiverCityGamers Podcast, hosted by SCXCR and Well Unreal 007, as well as many other members from the RiverCityGamers website. Stay tuned for all the gaming news, new pickups, and everything else we feel like talking about on the RiverCityGamers Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the RiverCityGamers Podcast. I'm RiverCityGamers.
I am
AngelHalo.
He's seeking ghosts of sex. Don't pay attention to my mild case of blow Tourette's. I'm Zeromaster.
What the fuck?
I'm sorry, I'm really excited because there's a new Dance Gavin Dance album coming out in 4 days.
I thought you were quoting fucking Outlaw Star Bridge. Wait.
No, I was quoting Dance Gavin Dance.
Oh yeah, that thing that still hasn't happened yet.
Shut up, it did, you know.
Outlaw Rapstar? Yeah, we gotta get on that shit.
Well, maybe I'll start writing the script for that in the middle of gaming news.
Gaming news! So unreal.
So we might as well start with this. A Nintendo Direct happened on April Fool's Day.
I still haven't watched it.
Oh,
Wait,
dude,
no, wait. Never mind, I totally watched it.
Well, a lot of shit happened during the Nintendo Direct. A lot of it Smash Brothers related. Like, they announced additional DLC costumes for Mii Fighters. They announced that Mewtwo would be available separately as DLC, which you have to pay for. They announced that Lucas is going to come back. And then they also dropped the announcement that they were having a kind of a ballot that people can submit character ideas for new characters in Smash.
Yeah, I wonder how many Gokus and Shrek showed up.
Although, interesting.
As soon as I saw that in the Direct, I'm like, oh, they just opened the floodgates. Oh, boy.
And they wonder why we didn't have a third-party character in Brawl.
Sakurai
A third
permanently
one.
hates everyone now. Please never ask me for anything again. Go fuck yourself.
You know, I call bullshit the moment Sakurai said that there wouldn't be any DLC characters beyond Mewtwo. Like, I knew something was going to happen. I didn't know he would actually literally do a ballot, though. And the interesting thing to come out of this ballot, a couple of interesting things. One of them was that Way Forward is pushing a campaign to have Shantae added as a playable character.
There are a lot of companies pushing to have their related characters in.
Shovel Knight. Oh my god, Shovel Knight.
Yeah, that includes Phil Spencer went on record to say that he would not mind seeing Banjo-Kazooie in a game as well.
Which would totally be doable if he's a DLC character, because then Microsoft could profit from it as well.
Yeah.
Like, I could see Banjo-Kazooie being like $5 and people paying that much for it.
Here's $5.
Shut up.
No, wait, it's Microsoft. Here's $50. I don't want to pay $50. Well, fuck you, guy.
Writing on the wall, thunder kisser.
But yeah, like, it is interesting seeing all these, like, non-Nintendo people going, yeah, we would like to see them in there. But are they, like, do you think it would actually happen, or is it kind of a Me Too thing? Because with, like, all these other guys, like, yeah, I kind of want, well, me too. No, I'm fucking Battletoads.
The thing you gotta remember, too, is two things. One, the game companies need competition. Like, I think, and not only that, a lot of the competitors own their competitors' systems because they like them.
Yeah,
what's his
Shuhei
name?
Yoshida's the best with this.
He's the guy from Sony, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he owns 2 Wii U's, and he says he loves them.
Like, I love playing the video games on them. I work at Sony, but I love the video games.
Further evidence that console wars are bullshit.
And I'm sure
tell that to the
I'm
PC
sure
crowd.
Phil Spencer was like, Smash 4's coming out. Gotta get me a Wii U.
So where's our Halo Smash? Oh, wait.
Master Chief in Smash.
No. He
Don't-
would get
don't
arrested before he even reached Smash Brothers.
I haven't even finished 4 yet.
That's still the canon ending for me. Master Chief gets arrested, and that's how it ends.
Well, some other quick things that happened during the Direct, just to touch on some of these. Mario Kart 200cc was announced.
So this is Nintendo basically saying, yeah, F-Zero's dead, here you go, have your money.
And I'm never playing it, ever.
New Fire Emblem game was announced.
Yes.
Like 2 different versions, is that correct?
Yes.
It's not 2 different versions.
It wasn't announced in this direct, it was announced in the previous one, but they showed more here, but they explained more, including the separate game stuff.
Yeah,
I don't think
speaking
it's
of
separate games, though. I think it's you just get to choose different
No,
paths.
in Japan, it's confirmed separate games.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And speaking of Fire Emblem and finally showing stuff off, we finally saw something from Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem.
Oh my god,
And
it looks
it's
awesome.
Not what anyone was expecting.
It looks fucking awesome. I want this. I don't even really like Shin Megami Tensei or Fire Emblem that much. It just looks really cool, and I'm like, and a part of me is just going, please don't be Final Fantasy 13 all over again. Please don't have a really cool trailer.
No, there's
and be
competent
shit.
developers behind it, so it won't be.
Yeah, the trailer kind of threw me off. I mean, I didn't get my Fire Emblem amiibos, and now they get me a trailer that doesn't have any Fire Emblem characters in it. Okay.
Not
Let
that-
alone A1 from Shin Megami Tensei. I mean, not that I'm complaining, it just threw me
They're
off.
probably saving them.
As if we weren't waiting for 2+ years already for this shit.
Well, remember, like, when they announced it, it was just a title. So,
Yeah.
like, it was just like, it wasn't even like it wasn't stylized text. It was just like, this is black text on a white screen. We're making a game. You're welcome.
Although I like to see more trailers do stuff like that.
Although, you know what game has been made and we do know what it looks like?
What?
The latest Fatal Frame game, which is coming to the West, thank fucking god.
Is that going to be on Wii U?
Yes.
Wii U.
Okay. Now, Fatal Frame.
I'm sorry,
Is
I'm a little invested in that because I was kind of involved in the whole Project Zero campaign to try and bring it west. So I'm particularly happy about that announcement.
Fatal Frame. It's the survival horror series that's anime-ish? Or am I wrong?
Well,
No,
you have to
no.
take pictures of ghosts when they're
It's,
like
it is
all up in your
super
group.
Japanese.
What the fuck was that one game you played? The one with the robot and you have a flashlight. And the main character is voiced by... I want to say Johnny and Bosch, but I don't think it's Johnny.
How long ago did you play this?
Fuck, I don't know. He was playing... It's for the Wii.
If it's Fragile Dreams you're thinking of.
Fragile Dreams.
That's
There's a
That's
robot
it.
on your back that dies halfway through. Spoiler.
Wow, that was forever ago.
Yeah. I mean, it was Johnny Young Bosch, by the way.
It was? That's... oh.
Yeah. Because when I
Yep.
thought, I'm like, yeah, he was in it. Because when you said on the Wii, that made it click. Funny how
Anyways.
that...
Anyway, just another thing to throw out, Wii U Virtual Console is getting N64 and DS games.
My only
But no
problem...
3DS.
At least with the DS games side of thing, I'm surprised that's not going on, 3DS.
My only problem with the DS stuff, and this is partially a GBA thing, is there hasn't been a Pokemon game released in any Virtual Console yet, and that's the main reason people want DS Virtual Console. So, like, if there's no Pokemon games coming out, they're wasting their time, in my opinion.
I don't think they're gonna do it because it's like, just buy the new iteration. Go buy it. So I don't see them.
I
Did
get
they ever
requests
re-release
to LP
older proper
Pearl
Pokemon games
or
that aren't
Diamond
Steam?
all the time, and I can't because the emulators suck balls. So, like, if they're gonna I'll buy the game again, but they gotta put it on the Virtual Console. Even though I
Oh.
fucking hate 4th gen.
What else was at the direct? I'm trying to remember.
There was Yoshi's Woolly World.
I can't wait for that fucking game.
The Woolly Woolly Woolly
Oh.
Woolly 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 World.
Damn it, Wooly.
I'm slow. I'm so glad it has like a cool co-op mode too. And oh my god, I want fucking one of those like Yoshi amiibos. I want the blue one and call it Fat Baby Yoshi.
Speaking of amiibos, they announced the release date for Wave 4, and the entire world fucking died.
Why is that?
Oh, did you try to pre-order anything from Wave 4?
Oh yeah, I
today?
did. I heard Wave 4 came out. I went to EB they said, we don't have the ability to pre-order yet. You're going to have to do it online. And EB's site went down. So then today I went back and they're like, oh, you can't pre-order anymore. They're closed. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me in my head? I'm like, holy crap.
I'm not sure what it was like in Canada, but down here it was supposed to be done online through in-store. Like you had to go in-store and they do it online. It was a mess. Servers crashed. Everything was just going nuts. If anything, I don't blame the employees. The employees did their best. This was corporate stupidity. For reference, I could not get the Fire Emblem amiibos, so now I hate the franchise because I'm a little bitter. I'm sorry. But I did get Ness, Wario, Pac-Man, and Charizard pre-ordered, and I'm gonna try and get the other exclusive ones for the time being. It's a disaster. This is the worst wave release they've ever done, and this is coming from experience. It's like, I don't know how they get progressively worse with how they handle it, but
all I'm saying
God
is,
almighty, they did.
all I'm saying, I hope that rumor of Nintendo really pumping out more amiibos that I heard is true, because if this doesn't, like, it's a waste of time. I'm just gonna stop collecting them because I'm like, I can't. I work the late shift at my job, and I have a lot of hours at work. I don't have time to go. I don't have the time to go and pre-order right away.
Yeah, like, I just want them to, like, restock. People clearly want to buy them, but they're not resupplying it. And because of that, people who bought in bulk and selling them online for like $1 billion, it's just a goddamn mess.
There needs to be, and I want to know, if not that, Nintendo needs to put a very, very strict one per customer policy in.
Most stores have been doing that. Most stores.
When I went to GameStop to get my Shulk pre-order, they had the one per customer rule.
Yeah, there are a few stores like around like the U.S. or whatever that
if not that,
kind of break that rule, and that means they're shit. But
if not that, one per credit card, or like one per EB Edge card or something. I don't know. Like, maybe GameStop or EB can use this as a way to get people to buy more Edge cards, but like, be like, you can't get an amiibo unless you have an Edge card, and you only get one on that Edge card. Because I'm sure people are using it to get the points.
then people would probably just go to another store, even though like, ugh.
Well, Walmart in Canada doesn't allow pre-orders, so I can't pre-order Golden Mario or any of the other ones.
Walmart's garbage anyway. So
and Rosalina still hasn't been announced for Canada.
yeah, that sucks with the whole Target closing. I actually saw photos of like a Target in Canada in its final days, and it looked like it got ransacked in the fucking zombie apocalypse. I'm not joking. I'm like, are you, holy shit. When they cleared out, they cleared the fuck out. Rest in peace, Target Canada. You lasted 2 days tops.
But anyways, I'm sorry for going in a rant there, but the whole amiibo thing just pisses me off now. I'm ready to stop buying them.
Well, why don't we move on to something Sony related?
Oh, is it a reason to buy their new console? Because I still am trying to find one.
It might eventually be one, but they recently acquired OnLive.
Oh God.
And
Good.
now OnLive is shutting down.
Yep.
And I bet Down Phoenix is pissed.
I actually have some experience with OnLive.
Oh, we
So
know.
do I, except I barely used it and only used it for free games and demos that I streamed.
Yeah, see,
And I stopped using it because my net started crapping.
for guys like me and Unreal, that's totally fine, because we got free games and demos. Anybody who sunk money into it, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually researched into this story earlier this month, and I made some discoveries. Like, you know how some people would, of course, you get a service, you buy a full game. Like, let's just say you're unfortunate enough to have paid $50, $60 for a game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the most I've ever paid for a game was maybe a total of $30, and that's including all the games I've ever purchased. Mainly because A, I wanted some other game for free, or B, blah blah blah. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, but another thing I should note is that I actually got a micro console from OnLive while they were in beta as a free gift. So I had this little tiny piece of hardware that's able to stream from the internet into my TV, and even has a pretty decent controller. Kind of shitty when it comes to FPSs though, so I just swap it out with a 360 controller. Anyway, so point is, you've been investing in OnLive for a while, except they've been through some, I guess you could say, they were getting close to bankruptcy for the first 2 years, I believe. Like, don't quote me on that one, but they eventually sold off their assets to another company, which they basically kept the service alive for another 2 years before Sony eventually acquired them, and well, we know what happened from there.
Let me ask real quick though, is this a controller USB? Like, can you still use it for something else, or is it pooch too?
No.
Is it Bluetooth?
It's pretty much a paperweight, isn't it?
It's paperweight. It's fucking paperweight. You paid $100 for that little thing anytime before February. You're shit out of luck. You're not getting compensated for that.
You know what else is a paperweight?
What?
Mag for the PlayStation 3.
They still sell that game for like $15 at some places.
Oh, go kill yourself. Sorry.
Go tell them to stop.
Go kill yourself.
And all those games you invested into, you're not getting compensated for that either. Every moment
Wasn't it at, like, after a certain date, like, oh, after February, okay, fine, but before,
yeah, so it's like, you invest any money into the thing, you invest any time at all into OnLive, you're shit out of luck when it goes out of service, because you're not getting compensated at all. You're not getting any of the physical data back. You're not getting even a little bit of cash back. I even tried getting my micro console pawned off, and they wouldn't take it at all. And this was like months before the service finally shut down.
I was gonna say, you might be better to like hold on to it for a couple years and then
hold
go
on
on
to
eBay,
it as a relic of why.
or then go on eBay and find somebody who is just like a crazy collector for like gaming technology and make money off it that way. But it's gonna be a stretch.
Holy shit!
Give it to
You
that
have an
museum
OnLive
of
console?
gaming thing that's touring around.
I might end up doing it, because this thing is like fucking worthless.
Hey, Angel.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you have one of those rare OnLive consoles?
Yeah.
Here's $5.
Although funny enough,
Here's $50.
The one pawn shop I went to actually was willing to give me $5 for it.
Oh my god.
Of course, I had to be the dumbass to hold out,
Hey,
and now they don't want it anymore.
that will help you pass a toll booth. It's $5.
Well, hey, maybe someone will find a way to mod it and turn it into an Android console. I'm sorry.
I can just imagine what
Oh,
Sony...
Down Phoenix, I
like,
hope you're not listening to this podcast.
I can just imagine what Sony was going through when they bought OnLive. It's like, oh, cool, streaming service. Oh, we'll buy it. But
No.
it might compete with our PlayStation Now service. You're dead. Bye.
Well, the
I think
entire
it was
reason they
more
bought
like-
it was so that they could get the patent portfolio from it.
Yeah, that was
That
me.
may be the most Jewish thing I've ever heard. Next thing you know, they're gonna fund EVE Online even more for fucking PlayStation 4. Then the Jew circle will be complete.
Are you implying that Shuei Yoshida is Wario?
No. Maybe that Sean Layden guy. I mean, you see how he claps? Fucking weirds me out, man.
Let's move on.
Alright.
Okay, well, I guess you could technically route this back toward Amiibos, but we're going to talk about it anyway. Bandai Namco is doing something interesting with their IPs. Specifically, they're allowing game developers in Japan to make pitches to Bandai Namco about games using characters from certain franchises that they own.
Oh.
So, there's a long list of IPs, but I'm just going to go over a few of them. Zevious, Battle City, Dig Dug, Galaga, and probably the most recognizable one on the list, Pac-Man.
So does that mean Dig Dug's gonna become a character action game?
I think it means we need to vote for Dig Dug and Smash.
Nah, man. If we're gonna vote for any Bandai Namco character, it's gotta be fucking Lu Bu. Am I right?
I thought they were Koei Tecmo. Am I?
Oh wait, sorry, wrong company.
Yeah.
Watch.
no, but man, I'm voting for that Lu Bu motherfucker.
If Blondie was here, he'd vote for Tails characters because.
I already submitted one for Yugo from Bloody Roar.
Oh my! If that happens,
Is that under Bandai Namco?
No, that's under Konami.
Yeah, but they were
fuck
on a
Konami.
Nintendo console, so I'm fucking counting it.
Did you make a campaign of Yugo for Smash?
Well, I submitted it. I didn't do an official campaign for it or anything.
We should do
Look
a
at those
campaign.
10 signatures. I'm sorry. Maybe if you voted for the Unborn, we get 100.
Hey, don't make me get Bloody Roar Columbia on this.
Okay, man. The official campaign starting now. Yugo for Smash.
Let's not and say we did.
Let's do and said we didn't.
Let's do a diddy dum diddy do.
Okay.
How about no?
Moving on.
Well, unless you guys have anything, that's all I've got for gaming news.
I don't got.
I now have to vote for Yugo for Smash. Should I say what I heard, or just real quick? Let's just put it out there.
Okay.
If you want.
Gold Mario Amiibo delayed again for Canada.
And he is in my room. Don't worry. You can play with him if you come down to Connecticut.
The one thing I hope about that Smash thing is that we don't end up with like, oh, we've got a new character. It's Rainbow Rosalina.
Don't worry. This isn't the Mario Kart team working on Smash. So. No, we need fucking Rasta Toad for Smash.
We
Well,
need
there
Michael
is-
Jackson.
There's
Luigi.
already an amiibo for it. So
I don't know.
Anyway, let's get away from gaming news, and let's go on to seeing what's coming out relatively soon. And first
Wait,
thing that immediately
went away from games to talk about games.
first thing that immediately comes to mind for me
Is the new Dance Gavin Dance album?
is
It's not a get.
I will kick you out of this call.
April 14th. All right, go ahead.
You know what else is April 14th? Mortal Kombat 10.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
excuse me, it's X. Actually, I
No,
don't.
it's 10.
Well, chronologically, yeah, it
Do you
is.
know how many
They're calling it
times a
more-
day I hear customers say, should I click on reinstall OS X? Yes, you should click on reinstall OS 10. So I should click on reinstall OS X. Yes,
Dude.
click on reinstall OS 10.
Did you know the PlayStation 10 came out before the PlayStation 2?
That's true.
Holy shit, they were ahead of their time. No wonder
I'm gonna
OnLive
slap
got
both of
canceled.
you at the same time during Anime North.
It's a good thing one of our panels wasn't there.
That's
or
right,
else
Scott. I'm
just
gonna wait a
murder me
week
or-
to slap you.
Yeah, if I was hosting a panel, you would just come up and completely whack me and say, "All right, I'm hijacking this shit."
I slapped you.
All right, what were we on again?
Mortal Kombat X.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to buy that game next year.
Oh man, I can't wait to buy that game when I buy a console it comes out on.
I can't wait to talk about a different game.
Okay.
But seriously, I'm waiting a year because I don't know, pay more than $60 just to get like what 6 extra characters. Okay, fine.
Hey,
I'll
this
just-
isn't Battlefield Hardline.
I'm just saying, I would prefer to wait till the Game of the Year edition comes out.
In 5 months.
And it's got to have a PC release anyway, so you know.
Since I'm moving over to handhelds, I might as well mention that when I was looking up games for this podcast, I went to the Vita section, hit all games, and got a completely blank page. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
And some of you guys wonder why I traded in my Vita recently.
I don't feel bad about owning the Vita TV because it was a gift that that I got for Christmas, and I have a few games for it. So, you know what? I'm okay with having the PlayStation TV. I'll probably pick up a Vita when they're dirt cheap.
Maybe I'll get a TV someday.
I'll probably get it the year it dies.
Angel,
Just like the PS.
Get your Vita back so we can play games together like Titty Ninjas.
I can't wait to play.
Moving on. 3DS in early May, Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor 2 Record Breaker.
Is that just like a... there's too many fucking Shin Megami Tensei series. Just stick to the main series, goddammit.
It does have... It is like Devil Survivor 2 with a lot more content to it.
Oh yeah, and that one had an anime adaptation, believe it or not.
Sorry, maybe I'm thinking of Digital Devil Saga. God damn it.
You probably are. There's Demon Summoner, then Digital Devil Saga, then Devil Survivor.
One franchise, guys. You had one job.
Sorry, spin-off.
I'm gonna stretch out into mid-May for this one, Witcher 3.
Oh, I still need to play the other Witcher games though.
Me too. All I've heard is Witcher 2 is amazing.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of good things coming from that. I tried getting into the first one. It's kind of hard for me to get into it. But I heard the sequel is way better.
I don't know if I want to play the first Witcher game because it was published by the people who published Pirates.
Well, that's just published, though.
Yeah.
Anything that reminds me of Pirates is...
Okay, well, I have one more, and it's not going to remind you of Pirates.
Okay.
Releasing in mid to late May for the PlayStation 3, the newest, hottest topic on the block, Farming Simulator 15.
Oh my god.
Not for the PS4? Fucking god. Wow.
There's going to be a lot of pissed off PS4 owners because they're going to be like, I bought the PS4. I bought the PS4, the new Farming Simulator when it came out, and it's fucking not on the PS4.
I mean, I have a PS3 right there, but I don't want to go back.
Hey, don't worry, they'll make an HD remaster in someday, right?
What do you mean I can't play Wii Music on my Xbox 360?
And why doesn't Marcus wear goggles? That was just from my friend Riley.
With that, I am spent on the upcoming releases, so if one of you guys wants to talk about a game you recently picked up, you go right ahead.
Actually, a game that I have been playing a lot, Fossil Fighter Frontier. Really good. It's even better than the first game, which I got in a bargain bin. And
is it a Digimon game?
No, it's like a mix of Pokemon and Digimon World 2. You get a minivan and you go around hunting, getting fossils and fighting other dinosaurs. It's like Pokemon where you
get a minivan.
It's like Pokemon and Digimon where you capture well, you don't actually capture them. You find fossils for the dinosaurs, and the more fossils you find for your dinosaur, the stronger they are, and you can level them up too, like a regular RPG. So if you like dinosaurs and you like RPGs, especially collectum RPGs like Pokemon or Digimon, like Ninja Raptor probably does, Fossil Fighters Frontiers a really good 3DS game, but it doesn't. The only complaint that I've heard about it is that it doesn't take advantage of the new 3DS, in which I'm like, this game was announced before the new 3DS was a thing, so I don't think that's that big of a loss. But it's awesome. It's Fossil Fighters Frontier. It's dinosaurs.
I guess the only thing that kind of qualifies as me playing a new game recently, one of them being Speedrunners, which I found out that I bought from a Humble Bundle about a year ago. And honestly, the only reason I paid attention was because Payday 2 characters are in the game. But hey, it's actually a pretty fun game.
But okay.
But it doesn't star Video Game Donkey. Fuck you, Speedrunners.
Well, you got Dallas, Wolf, Hoxton in his prison suit, and the Cloaker. The Cloaker makes perfect sense. But it actually does make sense for Payday 2 characters to be in it, because one of the most common skill builds in the game is dodge build, which requires you to fucking run. So yeah, the game is pretty fun. If you count DLC as games, which you likely don't, but just bear with me here.
Censored.
Censored.
Okay, I did end up buying the Sizzling Barbecue Pack for Payday 2.
Censored.
Definitely censored.
But, other than that, that's pretty much it for me.
I will go ahead and go next, because I just have one game.
Go ahead, I can't. I can't. You go. Go. I'll go last.
Okay, I'll go next because I just have one game, and it's a game that at the same time I don't want to play again, but at the same time I feel like if I speed ran it, I could get through it really fast. It's something I did like a playthrough on my stream of and cut together some highlights for my channel for. It's called Overcast, Walden, and the Werewolf.
What?
Yeah, Angel was there
Featuring
for
Lion
this
Witch and
one.
Wardrobe.
He knows what I'm talking about.
For most of it, anyway, I almost gave up near the end.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Sad thing is,
I
this
did-
game is actually really short, but it was still an absolute chore to sit through either from playing or from Angel's perspective of just watching this. The game has a lot of inappropriate music. First of all, the guy didn't know how to get his character models to move during cutscenes. So everyone stands with their arms rigid at their sides and their hands wide open, even though they're supposed to be holding like guns and lanterns and shit. Then you get in the game and you're somehow holding up a lantern with one tiny hand and holding what is clearly a two-handed bolt-action rifle, one-handed with the other, going around this map trying to shoot shit. And the entire time you're getting blindsided by jump scares which have dubstep sound effects over them. Like, you'll just be running around this one area, all of a sudden the screen changes color, there's a blast of static, and then you hear... It is one of the least scary things I've ever seen, especially because they pour video filter after video filter after video filter on top of each other, and it gets to the point where you're just like, I can't see a damn thing. What is going on?
Angry Gamer parody.
And I have a feeling that he did that to hide how shitty some of the environments look, and in particular, how awful the werewolf looked. This went back to like the early days of 3D, where he couldn't put like hands or claws on the werewolf, so he has like two nubs for hands and then these three spiky things sticking out of them that are supposed to be claws. That's how awful this werewolf looked.
So, the Devil Joe claws?
Pretty much.
Oh, jeez.
How come I'm imagining someone saying that in such a stupid way?
Well, if you look at the highlights down on YouTube, I included a clip of Travis from the special poetry slam going, I am the werewolf!
Oh, no.
Coincidentally, that's the only redeemable thing in that entire video. Just to push
the point
home the point that they were trying to push this as a scary game, if you go to the Steam page for this, the second video trailer of this is a compilation of YouTubers with scare cams playing this and acting scared. Guess who the first person that shows up is?
Mark.
Apparently the biggest pussy on earth, Markiplier. I don't care if he's just getting out of surgery, I'm just gonna call it like it is.
Yeah, at least he's a cool guy.
I hear he's a cool guy.
Hey,
But at the
fellas,
same
what's
time,
up,
if he's
video-
scared of this, he will be scared of absolutely anything.
No, I don't really watch his videos. I watch some of his like the animations and stuff of his stuff. Like, but I knew he was a cool guy when he does things like post videos that say, "Hey, just so you know, you're awesome. Don't forget that you're awesome." And that's it.
Boo.
That's all the video is. Just to remind people that you matter.
He's really dedicated to his family. It's like, I saw the video that he posted when he was out of surgery recently. I mean, holy shit, dude.
Didn't like his doctors were fans of him?
I don't even
That
know. I'm
performed
not
the
going
surgery
that
on him?
far into the story.
Like all I know is like I saw pictures of him and his doctors chilling.
Oh, maybe. You know, we're getting away from the point here.
The point is, the game's bad.
The point is, Overcast, don't buy Don't buy it!
I thought it was Go Fly It. I don't even know what he fucking said it. Oh my god, that's like ancient YouTube for us. Holy shit.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
And
Or
to
ope,
this day,
I know.
Fafi has been permanently saying ope because of that.
I know what OPE is, but I don't know its origin, but let's not get into that.
If I could find it, I will show you the origin later.
Anyways, I guess it's Unreal's turn.
So there's a game called Bloodborne that I beat.
You beat that already?
That's what I said.
I could have beat it days ago. I just delayed it because I had to do side shit that nearly made me want to fucking commit suicide.
And then I yelled at him to stop being good at video games.
Side shit, Bob.
Side shit, Bob. Fucking stupid ass Dante Must Die dungeons where they force half health on you because challenge. Well, it's only one of the fucking dungeons that does that, and it sucked. Like, that was a fucking brick wall I had to break through with my bare hands.
Was it like, wow, you suck? Or was it like...
What do you mean? You saying I suck?
No, you're like, it sucked. Did you say to the game, wow, you suck?
No, I just hate the Defiled Chalice dungeon because it just forces this artificial thing on you that makes it harder. And it's just that one. All the other ones are, like, fine difficulty-wise, even though there's still some later bosses that made me want to kill myself.
No, Unreal. I'm saying you, the man who has completed way more games than me, sucks. I'm being
Bloodborne's
sarcastic,
a great
by
game.
the way.
In terms of the whole experience, Bloodborne's great. If we're calling it a Souls game, it's my favorite one because I learned to really like how the game feels and plays and stuff. I definitely recommend it if you are a goddamn maniac or are already familiar with the Souls games. But yeah, I beat the game, I platinumed it, if that matters to anyone, and I'm never gonna play it again, I guess. And this doesn't really count as a game, but right around like 2 days ago, I actually finally got invited to the PlanetSide 2 PlayStation 4 beta. Now, okay, if you don't know what PlanetSide 2 is, it's a free-to-play shooter that's already out on PC. It's basically, think Battlefield, but in the future, and on a much larger scale. It's like the best comparison I can give it. Like, it's really hard to explain. I mean, it is a beta. I know you guys joked around. It's like, are you going to do an alpha as whatever video on it? I don't know if I am, because it's a little complicated, this game. So I think me going into detail would be a little weird, especially since this is a beta for a console version of a game that's already out on PC. So whatever. I will say it is enjoyable, but since no one else has gotten a code, whether it be like some of my other friends, playing it by myself with like random other people is kind of getting boring. So I don't have much to say other than at least PlanetSide 2 on PS4 exists. It was always fabled to be canceled because they never gave news on its release or anything. But yeah, Bloodborne, buy it. Hope.
Speaking of Bloodborne, I just learned that the PC version of Dark Souls has been switched over from Games for Windows Live to Steamworks. Guess what I'm going to be playing next?
Oh, you can't play that just yet because we have to get to our discussion topic for today. And you know what, Angel, since you're the one who suggested this, would you mind introducing it for us?
Right. So, as everyone should know by now, a month ago, the PlayStation 4 has been, I guess you could use the term, blessed with the release of this third-person shooter / cinematic / quick-time event / you can't do shit game called The Order 1886.
Thanks for reminding me of a playthrough I did. Thanks for reminding me that I need to drink soda.
Yeah, so I was watching Unreal here, doing the stream for this game.
What's wrong with you?
And a lot of the game is quick-time events and third-person shooting elements, which to me just looks like Gears of War with too much quick-time events and even more broken mechanics. From what I've inferred from looking at it.
Wait, what do you mean by broken mechanics?
I love how he's taking this long to get to the title.
Like the stealth mechanics.
Oh, yeah, that's just like phoned into shit. Okay.
Anyway, so the point is, the game was more or less more of a cinematic movie than it was a game when you think about it, especially when there isn't a whole lot of challenge. Other than, oh, you failed a QuickTime event, time to do that QuickTime event again.
Oh no, a shotgun guy. What? Oh, he stun locked you. Okay, restart checkpoint.
So it gets down to a point where you have to ask yourself, is this really a game? How much game needs to be in there for it to be game?
Okay, if you want the low end of the scale, David Cage. Now moving on.
I was gonna say, what is a game? A miserable pile of coding.
But
Like,
enough
I
talk.
get
To the discussion topic.
So I get that making games can be tough, but are you trying to make a game or a fucking movie? Are we trying to make video games for people to enjoy, or are we trying to become like Hollywood? My point is, another point I should say, we got games that really show off cinematic quality, and that's a good thing. But we also got games that claim to be games when there's not a whole lot of game to them. The Order being one of them, and a handful of other games too. Like I believe last year we've seen the release of Beyond Two Souls, which no matter what you did wrong, the game still proceeds, and it's not really
Actually,
much.
I think that was 2 years ago. It's 20. Remember, we're in 2015 right now.
Yeah.
And then you got games that are the gameplay matters so little that they just took all the cutscenes and made a movie out of it. Hi, Heavenly Sword.
And Metroid Other M, which did have plenty of gameplay.
Well,
albeit
actually,
very
with the whole Other M thing, they put the movie in there in the game. Heavenly Sword actually re-released as a movie you can buy.
Or watch on Netflix.
Oh, gee. Oh, I'd rather watch Power Rangers on Netflix.
And another one of the interesting topics I've talked about with Shadow Snake previously was the whole Telltale Games going on. Because I actually did play through and finish Season 2 of The Walking Dead, unfortunately. And I had a miserable time playing it because even though it's supposed to be an interactive story, I get that. But the gameplay is still incredibly boring, and it just pisses me off. Your choice, there's especially this type of games where your choices matter when they fucking don't. I mean, I'm sorry for going on like this. It's just, I'm still so upset about that game.
So when your piss gets boiled to a hard-boiled egg, just remind yourself that Season 2 of Walking Dead is bad. Just like the show's Season 2. It's like a theme or something.
Okay, so we've approached this a generation to where we're making more of interactive movies, or at the very least, we have a very overhyped interactive movie. And
Thank God Nintendo's still around.
yeah,
Why is
I don't
somebody
know,
buying their system now?
a lot of it's doing Nintendo's policies.
But
And-
my worry is this is where gaming is going to be from now on. Like you have to feel like you're in the game. It's like, why can't I just fucking sit down and play a fucking game?
Well, you're still gonna have indies for that.
I know, but like, what I
How
don't want to
far will
see.
that go?
What I don't want to see is more like games getting like from franchises are like getting sequels that are just like, now we have to make you play the story as a movie thing and have cutscenes all the time. It's like, that's kind of why I'm secretly kind of glad Project Maverick Hunter didn't come to light. One, because I don't think Mega Man works as a gritty FPS reboot. And two, like, I could see it just being like one segment of gaming and then long cutscene and then back to segment of gaming.
Yeah, and it's a common trend I've noticed where with the newer games, it starts to become less and less about actually letting the person play the game and more like telling a story, which can work in some instances. But a lot of it's more like, okay, you can play. How do I put it like this? It's like you have a dog, and you allow the dog to run around a place to play around. And then you stop the dog for a moment to force the dog on a very long walk before letting them play around again. And that's how I feel when I'm playing games like Call of Duty, for instance. like some of the later iterations of Call of Duty, which is literally just walking down a single path, shooting the same sort of enemies, occasionally take out a vehicle, and just move on. Their storyline,
Obligatory driving segment. Turret section.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of variety. There's not a lot of freedom. There's hardly any freedom. The only Call of Duty game that came close to giving you freedom was Black Ops 2, believe it or not. The games that do, and yes, I get it, they have multiplayer. There's a lot more gameplay in multiplayer. Too bad it's pretty much the same multiplayer we've played over and over and over again with just new perks and all that. But I just feel like some of the major releases, like indie aside, the major releases are starting to feel like they're trying to be more of a means to tell a story than they are of actually playing a game. What are your guys' take on it?
I don't know. I just want games to be games.
Unreal SCR, any takes?
I just want there to be
what?
like a somewhat consistent amount of gameplay throughout. Consistently high, I should say. Or at least average. Because if I'm just sitting with my controller off to the side, watching shit go on, why shouldn't I just look up the cutscenes for this on YouTube?
Keep in mind, RPGs like to have a lot of cutscenes.
Yeah, but they also have a lot of gameplay.
Exactly, they're like 1 billion hours long.
Think of it less from a purely quantitative standpoint in terms of like hours of cutscenes, and think of it as a percentile of the game. Like if your game is 60% cutscenes, I'm not going to bother.
And to further emphasize the point, Metal Gear Solid 4. I've recently decided to consider it one of the worst Metal Gear Solid games. Not objectively, of course. More like due to the fact that there's so little of gameplay going on.
In terms of ratio, it's not great. But
Like,
when
you
you do get to play it, it's pretty great. But again, the ratio is so skewed that most of the time you are seriously just like having the control on the floor, or I don't know, hitting X when it's like, oh, flashback thing, spam the screen with fucking images.
You can go dump your ass in the time this cutscene takes to finish.
I can take a couple of shit faster than this. I want to bring up an example of good gameplay to cutscene ratio. Bloodborne, actually. Most of the story is, well, aside from it, most of it being cryptic and shit, most dialogue and all that stuff is usually done in-game, and cutscenes are very minimal. There are cutscenes in the game, but they don't happen too often. Like, it happens at the beginning of the game, the end of the game, and maybe before some boss fights. But in general, most of the story is pretty much told through the game, through NPCs you find and stuff, and any lore you might come up with. I mean, in terms of actual structured story, it is cryptic because that's what the Souls games do, but the ratio is pretty much very preferable because most of the time you're going to be playing the game.
I guess you can say that's one of the reasons why I really like Peace Walker at the time, because coming off from Metal Gear Solid 4, Peace Walker had so much more gameplay, and it had less emphasis on the cutscenes too, which surprised me. And you might be able to infer right now that I love the shit out of Metal Gear Rising as well. I mean, okay, there's plenty of cutscenes here and there, but you gotta admit that when you fight Jetstream Sam for the second time in the game, he's like, you know what? Fuck cutscenes, just fight. But he doesn't exactly say that, but that's basically his dialogue when you face him.
Thanks, Platinum. I actually do mean that. I'm not sarcastic about that. Thanks, Platinum.
Yeah, I mean, at least with the freaking Platinum cutscenes are usually over the top.
Nano machine, son.
Don't fuck with that, Senator.
So the overall message we're conveying here is that we're more worried that we're getting less and less gameplay, especially considering the value for our games. Like, how much are we paying again? $60 for a whole new game, and The Order, for example. How much of the gameplay do you get? Like, what, 4 or 5 hours? And
then you
how
get
much
sequel
extra-
baited at the end.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh. And how much content does it have? There's credits.
Would any of these thoughts sway in terms of the quality of either or, though? Like, it's like, wow, this story's amazing. Oh, this gameplay sucks, or vice versa. Would that really sway you in terms of ratio, or how would that work?
That is where things get subjective.
Exactly. It's tricky territory.
Yeah, like on one hand, you could argue that The Last of Us is half gameplay, half cutscenes, which it does have a really good storyline. So you could argue that's excusable, especially when the gameplay can be pretty tense and very difficult, but rewarding, really rewarding.
Or some could also argue that, in terms of the same game, it's like, yeah, the story's great or bad, or the gameplay really isn't special or anything. It really is subjective, but I think we really just, like, at least for this discussion, we're thinking like content instead of quality, because like I said, quality is a really tricky thing, especially considering like what ratio of gameplay to cutscene you're looking at. It all varies on the game.
You could also argue that...
So in other words, thanks Platinum for being the best.
You could also argue that story can be important in most cases, but there are some games that can do just well without a storyline in your face. For example, Metroid Prime, I've heard, is a lot of times visual. Like, at least with the first game, not when there is cutscenes, it's usually just to show all sorts of different environments as well as the enemies you're facing. A lot of the stuff you have to infer yourself by scanning them via databases, but that's basically all I got.
I'm sorry, as this was going on, I glanced at some of my Steam games, and I just realized I have an Afterfall game, and I don't know how it got there. But anyway, since the discussion is coming to a close, we might as well go ahead into viewer questions.
Oh boy, I wonder who asked this one.
Are there
question.
any?
This question comes from someone who doesn't exist, and he said nothing. So instead, I'm going to make up a question for all of you to answer.
Okay.
Given your top 5 favorite franchises, what number am I thinking of?
3.
2.
1?
72.
Jeez, I didn't know you liked Dynasty Warriors. Oh,
That's a Madden game.
Madden.
Just wait till you
Madden
guys.
91, man.
Just wait till you guys fucking see the power plays stuff of Dynasty Warriors 6 Empires, where I can tell you all to suck it,
Dude, I'm just fucking around.
because it actually has fucking strategy and bullshit. That's right, suck it.
Right, so 1 out of 48 has strategy.
They add new shit every year.
Yeah, like Zelda skins.
So does Madden.
Sorry. Not every year. They don't release Dynasty Warriors every year. Otherwise, we'd be on 20 by now.
Every other year.
Although I am interested in playing the one that came out on PC.
Why?
brother's-
Because you can mod the Payday characters in?
No, my brother's been playing Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires recently, and they added a lot of stuff, even just comparing it to 6 Empires. So, like, it's not just like a roster update, which you can't roster update because it's ancient China.
For the record, I'm cutting most of this because it's not related to the question.
Whatever.
Well, it was a
It's gonna be-
bullshit question anyway.
This is gonna be a short-ass podcast.
Cancelled.
Yeah, how did that happen with you and Angel being on the podcast at the same time?
Because
don't
you're
know.
cutting most of it to make it the 30-minute cut.
I may have to leave it in now just to make sure this podcast is long enough.
Cancelled.
Okay, if anyone does have a question that they want to have answered on the River City Gamers podcast, feel free to drop us a message in the comments on YouTube or on our website. You can also ask us via private message or on Facebook at facebook.com/RiverCityGamers. In the meantime...
Or on Twitter.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
we have
we
a
have
Twitter
that.
now.
Yeah.
At River City Gamers. right?
Yep.
Got it. Anyway, now let's move on
Better
to
update that.
video updates. And you know what? Zero, would you mind going first?
Sure. So my next full game review, it says in my Skype name that I'm 50% done it. I'm 50% done editing the review part of it. The reason, I haven't been working on it mostly because I'm waiting on lines from two people. One of those people is in this podcast, but it's not their fault. So, the other one being Canadian Jutsu, who I have to remind all the time, I need your goddamn lines. Canadian Jutsu, if you're listening to this podcast, record your goddamn lines. In the very least, Scott, your one line is one line.
What's my line?
I'll tell you later.
I didn't realize I had a line.
Well, I wrote a line in for you when we originally filmed the thing, and you said, I'm just going to do whatever. So I just need you to dub over what you did because there's wind, and I have to redo all the audio because of the wind.
Oh, I remember that thing now.
Yeah. It's no rush.
Why did
I'm still
I say
looking at
that?
CJ. I don't know. Ask yourself 3 years ago.
Okay, I'm gonna fire up the time machine for when this podcast is over.
But other than that, I am working on other videos. I did say that the Pandemonium review and the first episode of Collectabuzz came out on the Brinstars channel. If you don't know what the Brinstars are, that's my new project with Roger Sage, who you might know from Arcade Aficionados or the band Super Quest, and my buddy Tyler Hart. That's not his real last name, but we call him Tyler Hart, who also used to be in Super Quest as well. But we started new shows together, and we're working on new videos, so check out the Brinstars channel, or keep an eye on River City Gamers for those. The only other thing I'm really working on is I have a couple of smaller reviews, like quick hunt reviews I'm working on, and that's really when I have time to work on them, or when I'm not exhausted and don't want to work on anything. I love my job, but god damn it, it takes all my energy. But that's pretty much it for me.
Okay, Unreal?
You fool! Oh, so yeah, I think it's just gonna I'll be straight up. I still want to work on that Order 1886 in Got Games thing. But I don't know if I could get it done before Anime North. There's some things I'm juggling back and forth. Do I want to do this or no? I'm not
Just
talking about the
fucking
review.
do it.
I'm not talking about the review in general. I'm talking about certain parts to include. It's do I want this in?
Just fucking
Or-
do it.
Shut up. You don't even understand. I'm trying not to spoil anything.
Just fucking do it.
Spoiler, I die at the end. Wait.
That happens in all your reviews.
Not everyone. Probably the Ain't Got Games ones, but
But you can't
if
die.
Phaelus ain't doing it, someone got to.
But you can't die. You're already dead.
But I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna approach this review. I'm kind of at a block because I definitely got things I definitely want to include, but having it combined together is really tricky, and I'm just trying my best to think it over.
Fuck, I forgot something.
I definitely want it done. I honestly don't want to cancel it. If I cancel it, then I'm gonna cancel my subscription to River City Gamers.
You can't. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. It's like Hotel California.
I get the reference, and I don't give a shit.
California.
God damn it. I forgot something.
Too bad, it's too late.
Okay.
Well, no, not really, because that's all I have to update.
Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say I have a bridge related thing I'm working on as well. But you'll have to wait till May to find out what that is. At the abridged panel. At Anime North.
Alright, well, I guess I'll go next. Recent videos wise, I started up my playthrough of Battle Tanks. I guess you can look forward to that on my channel over the next week or two while I get through that. It shouldn't be that long of a series because it's not that long of a game. But other than that, there's something special I'm trying to work out for the final part of the Bloody Roar retrospective on Bloody Roar 4. I'm in contact with a guy about it, but we just have to arrange a date for when we can shoot this thing that I'm working on. I can't reveal any more details than that, otherwise it'll spoil what's going on. I believe that's it for me, so Angel, take us home.
I'm on hiatus.
Alright. Well, that's the end of the podcast, everyone.
The one that
But,
is
good job.
the one that is
But,
just over an hour.
But no, I'm actually on hiatus because I'm studying in my medical career right now. So it's taken a lot of energy for me, that and my job. So I just couldn't really find time to work on any more videos. At best, I'll probably do a short video every now and then if I find the time for it. But that's best case scenario. I can't make any promises from there. So for right now, I'm pretty much on hiatus until my college education gets figured out.
And Angel, who knows? You might have a crossover to work on during summer. That would be not mostly you working on it, but mostly someone else working on it.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Oh boy, I can't wait for someone to break their leg and me having to fix it somehow, only to let them know I'm not a nurse. I'm a tech.
Their leg.
Then put in
Their
augmentations, you idiot.
Hey, Angel, you haven't truly been helped someone at a hospital until their anus falls out.
Don't even get me started.
Speaking of
cousin-
anuses falling out,
my
Mortal
cousin-
Kombat X.
My cousin told me about that story. She's like, I now know the horrors.
Don't even get me started on the few procedures I had to do.
On that note,
And
we come to the end of the podcast. Once again, I'm SCXCR.
I am Unreal.
I mean, okay.
And I'm a Downtown Battle Mountain, Part 2.
Electric
What?
Boogaloo?
I'm Zeromaster.
So when are we gonna kick him out because he wanted to talk about that new album coming out? How about right now? We're at the end.
We'll put that to vote. All in favor?
Yeah.
Eh.
Sorry, get fucked.